Yeah, guys and girls, welcome back to another video of my daily news for today. It is the 31st of the 5th, and it'll be the 6th tomorrow, so it'll be June 2017 at the time of this video. Now, I just wanted to do a quick sort of like daily video, hopefully not to take up too much of your time and all that. But I'm just wondering, what would you guys and girls think if, say, the Manchester bombings, which was actually done on the 22nd of May 2017, so that was last week. So it's been over a week now since then, and apparently 22 children got killed and other people in there got injured and all that. Now, it kind of makes sense, not in the, where the children are getting blown up, but it makes sense if it was all hoaxed, if it was staged in that fact. Now, I'm going to give you a few things on here. I'm coming up with my own theories, so this could be totally crazy or not crazy. Now, in one of my previous videos, a while gone back, I said about the Westminster attack had been a hoax, it had been faked and all of that. And I gave my opinion on it, and I thought, yeah, what the hell, may as well. Now, I was saying that it was all staged and all of that, and to do with the Freemasons, the Freemasonics and all of that. And all the Illuminati are all involved, and basically they want new world order. So what do? They do it for globalization and all of that. They want they don't want you to have this like freedom. They just want everyone to be scared, so you end up giving your freedom away and all that. So yeah, I think this is how it could be. Now, I want to take you back to the first attack, which was actually on the 22nd of March 2017. Now, a terrorist attack took place in the vicinity of the Palace of Westminster in London, seat of the British Parliament. The attacker, 52-year-old Briton Khalid Massoud, other words, another sort of like one who's just probably come out of Libya and then come into the UK. So he's pretty much a sort of like they put him on the watch list. They said they've been watching him for a while now, and what my thing is, the CIA or the FBI or whatever you want to call them, the government was watching him, and they had him on suspicious alert and all that. Now, for this attack, for this Khalid Massoud, you think, okay, if he's on watch list, then right, they would have watched him run these people over, and it doesn't make sense. I mean, they would have stopped him before he even stepped his foot on that pedal to run those people over in London. Now, what really pisses me off is it was done on the 22nd of March 2017, which is actually symbols right there, 22. Now, let's have a look. The Masonic thing is like the one in Manchester was on the 22nd again. So 22, 22, 44. Now let's have a look. 22 in May. Master number. It's actually a master number apparently. Numerology, 22 is the most powerful of all numbers. It is often called the master builder. So the Freemasons, if you think about it, and their sort of cult, they are supposed to be the builders. They're the ones that actually makes the base, the ground and everything. Now it makes me wonder, with the numerology 22, whether these people actually instigated this attack or not actually instigate, maybe these people were killed in the attack, but as sacrifices. Now, myself, if you were to say stage something, stage a fright. Now, the first one, right, it got people upset because apparently got them in fear and all that, and they didn't put up the alert to do with the terrorist attacks. Now, strangely enough, 22, which is the Masonic numbers for numerology, 11 and 22 are the master numbers apparently. But it says the 22 can turn the most ambitious of dreams into reality. In other words, the reality of someone going out one day with a family who's got a wife, kids or anything, and he's a teacher, and then suddenly goes a bit crazy. So basically I think what they're doing is using these numbers 22 and stuff, plant it in someone's head as a sort of like a device sequence to actually trigger it. So they say the number 22, it triggers it in their heads, which has actually been implemented into their minds. So basically, I mean, you hear it all the time where you're trying to what's the word? You put a person under the spell and all that kind of stuff. You can hypnotize them. That's it. You can hypnotize them to do pretty much your bidding. Now, there's this one bloke ages ago. He done a trick where he was like getting into their minds, and he was basically put a number in their heads, and he wanted to see if he could put a number in their heads and make them do something by hypnotizing them. He could hypnotize them or traumatize them into thinking that this person was the enemy, that he was like sort of a hitman, and that he was actually going to do his first victim in. Now, the Nazis in Germany, actually, back in the time, they used to do a lot of brainwashing. Where is it? Nazis brainwashing scheme. They've actually got techniques back in World War One and Two. Youth camps where youngsters were brainwashed. Nazi propaganda. Well, they use propaganda on TVs. They use a different form of brainwashing kids and children into watching the news and all of that. So brainwashing, Wikipedia. For brainwashing, also known as mind control, menticide, coercive, persuasion, thought control, or thought reform. So reforming your brain to do something else than it should be doing. And re-education. So basically re-education, like where they put kids into schools and make them like go to school every day, 5 days a week, until they're 18 to 25s. Then they go off to college, and then they go off to university. But not everyone goes off to university, and it really should be there so everyone could go off to university. But also the teachers, they don't even know what they're actually teaching the kids. But apparently in some cases the teachers, or is it teachers brainwashing children, or is it teachers brain washing students? It was this Katie Hopkins on liberal brainwashing in schools. Yes, I mean, to be honest, schools are really bad, to be honest. I mean, they've fallen within the past 10 years, 15 years. They've actually fallen in the curricula. Right, Katie Hopkins, schools are supposed to teach kids how to think for themselves, not what to think. So what are so many liberal teachers bullying and brainwashing children with their own intolerant views? Well, the thing is, it's not about, in a way, it's not about teaching, putting it into their heads. The teachers are actually told by other people, like the government, and certain degrees of the. If you think about it, there's a big giant web out there, and to this web, there's different sort of lies and conspiracies and like agendas out there to actually get rid of this planet once and for all. And what they're doing is they're killing off people little by bit, like by stopping the National Health Service, which the Tories are trying to do. They're trying, I mean, in a way, they're trying to kill it off by not funding much into the National Health Service. Yes, I did say at some point on one of my YouTube channels or videos that I would love it if you could pay for the National Health Service. At least you'll be paying something into the National Health Service yourself, and you'll be able to pay for your health rather than actually getting it for free and then putting the actual doctors at risk with the patients. Now, if we go back and forward to the Manchester attack, there was 22 people, 22 children actually at the Manchester who actually died. The men aged 20 to 24, 37. So, I mean, is that 44? Oh, shit. Okay, so apparently 3 men arrested in connection with the Manchester terror attack has been released without charge. Right, the men aged 20 and 24. Well, if you put 20 and 24 together, you get 44. And you've got the 22 from the 22nd of March 2017. Now, at the time of the Westminster attack, it was 322. Basically, it was March, which was 3rd, and the day was actually the 22nd of March. So March being the 3rd month of the year, right, you put 322 together. Now, at the time when this actually all happened, when the car actually moved in, on the clock at the top, there was a clock at the top of, I think it was Big Ben. The time actually said 3:22 on it. 3:22. I mean, isn't that obvious? 3:22 and 3:22. Freemasonry. They've already got it all set up for you guys and girls out there to try and put all of us off. I mean, they're not just fooling you or others, but they're fooling me as well. And if you put 22, so 22 down, 22nd of March. Now, the Manchester attack happened on the 22nd of May 2017. So you had 22 and 22, which is 44. Now these guys here, the men, aged 20 and 24, but there was also a 37, and were among the 16 people arrested. So 16, 16, 32. So what I'm counting is the actual 20 and 24. These are sort of numbers, 20 and 24, because they are what they are, symbols. 20 and 24, put them together, 44. Now, I may be crazy, but go along with me on this one. Now, 22 plus 22 is 22nd of March, right? And also the Manchester, which was actually the 22nd as well, which was when it happened on the 22nd, 2017, and there was 3 months between them, between March and now, between March and May. That's 3 months. Now my guess is there's going to be a third attack by the looks of it. This is my guess. I'm working at, I said, more than 1,000 officers working on the investigation to piece together. Right, I'm almost done here, guys and girls. Right, I'm going to tell you, right, I'm going to give you one last thing. Right, 22 plus 22, so 22nd of March, right, plus the actual boy who actually did it. I think he was actually 22, I believe. Yeah, everything we know about a 22-year-old Manchester attacker, so he was 22, so that's kind of convincing, if you ask me. 22 plus 22 plus another 22 for March, so March the 22nd, right, which was 2017 for Westminster. You add the 22 for the date of the one in last week, which was on Monday, so Monday 22nd of May, so that's 44. This kid was 22 years old, right? And I'm thinking 22 plus 22, 22, that's 66. Well, 66 is Masonic, actually. It's the devil symbol, to do with the devil, so obviously the devil. So that's 66. And then you have got another 22, which is 88. Now my guess is either, well, 888 I think is the equivalent to 7777. Now my guess is something's going to happen on the either the 8th of the 8th, 18, maybe next year in 2018, maybe a UK takeover or something, terror attack in the UK. This is just my thoughts on it. I don't know what you guys, if there's any conspiracy theorists out there who would agree or not agree. This is just my opinion out here. But either the 8th of the 8th, 2018, or the 8th of August. Yeah, maybe the 8th of August of 2017 this year. Could be something. Or maybe because sometimes they could do a flipping 9/11. We know the 9/11 attack was an inside job, and we knew the Americans actually did it. So yeah, it's all, I mean, they say it's conspiracists, but what do you guys girls think? Anyway, let us know in the comments. I mean, do you honestly believe that these people, these youngsters, young kids have been killed? Apparently as well, one last thing before I go, guys and girls, right? A woman, right? Now this is kind of weird, right? This is kind of weird. A mum horrified after a picture of her daughter murdered by ex used in the collages of missing Manchester. So basically, this girl's, this mother's daughter was Samantha Shrewsbury, was shocked to see images of Jaden Parkinson, 17, who was murdered by her ex-boyfriend and dumped in a graveyard, circulating online. So basically, this is actually done by the Mirror, this article. The mother of a murdered teenager blasted trolls who used her daughter's photo in these collages of missing people in the Manchester bombing. Samantha Shrewsbury was horrified to see images of Jaden Parkinson, 17, who was murdered by her ex-boyfriend and dumped in a graveyard, circulating online. Ben Blakely strangled Jaden in a Didcot when she told him she was pregnant and was jailed for 20 years in 2014. But her mum Samantha horrified to see a selfie snapped by Jaden among the images of the people being searched for after the Manchester bombing, and spoke of the damages this could cause. So basically, they're trying to. I think they, maybe the government or maybe the people behind it, um, accidentally slipped it out. The mother actually saw it, maybe while she was sitting on the thing. They thought she wouldn't. That's what they were hoping, that she wouldn't. And she put on her Twitter, she says, "Why is my murdered daughter's picture being used in a collage of pictures of children missing dead after last night's terror attack?" And this was the 23rd of May, so this was the day afterwards. And it makes you wonder as well, why would the news people put something like this, guys and girls? I mean, if you put two and two together, you're not going to come up with 20, are you? Two and two together makes four. Everyone knows that. But what they're trying to do, they're trying to make people watch these news propaganda stuff on the TV. Sky News, NBC News, you've got Fox News, you've got all kinds of news. You've got BBC News, for instance. That's bullshit. It's all full of propaganda. You don't hear the proper realistic news that you're supposed to be hearing about. It's always about Theresa May and her cabinet wanting to take away pensioners' money after they are dead, so they can't give it to their families. I mean, that's sick. And then take off their houses and all that. Anyway, guys and girls, hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did doing it for you. If you enjoyed the video, guys and girls, do like, favourite, share, subscribe, and cheers all for watching. And stay safe and have a lovely, lovely 31st of May 2017. Catch you all later.